Good morning. It's Wednesday morning again.
Here we are.
QuiltChat's ready to go.
Yes.
It is, and we're glad that you joined us this morning. And we hope that you will, as you have any comments to make, and we'd love to know where you're from, wouldn't we?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So if you'll post a note on Facebook and just let us know where you're from, and also if you have any questions, we'll be happy to try to answer those as well.
Preferably quilting questions, but you know, we don't know the answers to everything.
No, but you know what? We're pretty good. We probably could find the answer.
That's
couldn't
true.
we?
Researchers.
That's right. That's right. Well, we have lots going on, and we had a great on point this morning.
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. It was so good.
Lots of fun things for everybody to do.
Yes, and the
busy.
survey. I really like the survey.
Yeah, isn't it so fun to talk about home decor? That always gets me excited because there's always little fun projects to do to make things. You can just add just the right accent to the perfect spot, or give something a homey touch, things like that. So,
Or add a little color.
right?
You know, that's a lot of what we do with our things that we make.
We do love color
Yes.
as quilters. So we'd love to hear what you guys think about doing home decor. We have a little 5-question survey. It's short and sweet and to the point, and it asks you about your favorite style, the kinds of projects you like to do, what rooms you like to do. Just very quick. It'll take you just a few seconds and you get done, and then come back next week to aqsblog.com and we will share with you all the different things that quilters have to say, what their favorite things are.
And that's also where they can sign up to receive the newsletter, right?
Yes, you sure can. At aqsblog.com, there's a little box there to sign up for the newsletter. You just put your email address in and we will send it to you every Wednesday.
And it's free.
It is free.
Yes.
And it always has lots of free patterns and free
Oh,
content.
yes.
That's a lot of fun. Something going on right now is Christmas in July.
Yes.
Because, you know, it feels like Christmas outside, doesn't it?
No.
Santa would melt.
And we've got somebody watching from Switzerland this morning.
Oh, wow.
Wonderful. Hopefully it's cooler in Switzerland than it is in Paducah, Kentucky.
Yes,
New
for sure.
Mexico.
Oh, in New York. Catskill,
Yes.
New York.
Yep.
Ooh.
Illinois.
Nice.
Illinois is not too far. Oh, but Mundelein is up by Chicago.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cottontown, Tennessee.
So we have some placemats and pillows for Christmas, and they're using the little Christmas countdown 4-inch blocks. So if you got started on that project and did 2 blocks and said no more, or 1 block and said no more, we've got just the project for you.
They are really cute. They are really cute.
And some of them use 1 block, and some of them use more than 1 block, don't
Yes.
they? So if you only made 3 or 4, we've got a project.
We do. And if you haven't made any, it's just a tiny bit of
It's
block
just
and
an opportunity to
give
try
it a
one.
try. Just
And then you might be
sample.
ready to kick right in with the next season.
Those 4-inch blocks are addictive. And so if you can get past the first couple, pretty soon you'll be making dozens of them because they're so much fun. And then we have something special for our members that we just started in July. And it's called Forever in a Day. It's a 12-month quilt. And so you can access that at the AQS member access area, where it's members only on the AmericanQuilter.com.
And there's a
The top
picture of
right
it in
corner.
today's On Point.
There it
I
is.
think we have
oh
a
my
picture here, don't
gosh.
we?
We do.
Yeah, it's a beautiful quilt. And
I
you
do,
know
yeah.
what? If you do one little section every month for 12 months, at this time next year, that quilt will be all done.
It sure will. And the
Won't
really,
it?
The really cool thing about this quilt is if you just want to do a portion of it, they easily break into wall hangings or table runners or something like that.
It
They have
is
nice focal points.
absolutely beautiful. It's a
is.
really, really pretty quilt. I encourage
So
everybody
colorful.
to go look for it on the member-only
Yes.
site or the member-only tab under AmericanQuilter.com.
Yes.
And you know what?
so fun.
This is the kind of quilt that I'd love to see people make this quilt, get it quilted, and entered in our shows because it's a stunner. And I can't even imagine how beautiful it would look when it was all quilted.
Wouldn't that be insane?
Plus, a lot of people working together on it
Oh, yeah.
under the project Facebook page will be a lot of fun too.
That's right. And we always invite you guys to share what you're working on, whether it's one of our projects or one of your own, on the Project Parade. It's a Facebook group here on Facebook. And all you have to do is go to our Facebook page and sign up for that. And we love to have everybody there. We post all the show and tells from each month, every month. So you get a shout out on the blog. And we love to see what you guys are up to.
Now, I know you showed it in solid fabrics, but you know, we've been talking about scraps. the last couple weeks. And so it would make a beautiful quilt too, done in scraps.
It really would. And there are so many different parts of it. You could really go crazy. It was, whenever I colored mine, there were over 100 fabrics in it.
Oh, wow.
And so it's jaw dropping. It is. And we also have the 50 States project still going. And so we have made it to Minnesota, Oregon, Kansas, West Virginia, and California.
We're heading west, aren't we?
We are. The Western expansion has begun. West Virginia was a late joiner, though. And so in case you're curious why we're saying that, we are putting them out in order that they joined the union. So that's our Western expansion there. And so we've got the blocks on the AQSblog.com, and then the mug rugs are on the member site.
Yes, the members only site.
If you keep wondering what that's about, you need to come and join and take part in all these fun projects we have going.
That's right. Well, Anne, we have a beautiful quilt behind
We
us
do.
again, don't we?
Isn't this pretty? This is a quilt that was done by Kathy Miller. It's called Garden Party.
Gorgeous.
Kathy's from Rapid City, South Dakota, and this quilt was also Judge's Choice at the Black Hills Quilters Guild Quilt Show this year.
Well, yes, and you can just see how many different fabrics were used to make those, sort of like a fan, a Dresden plate style,
Very reminiscent,
isn't it?
Daisy or sunflower. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just so beautiful.
It was quilted by Marie Brewer, and the original pattern was a Laura Heine pattern. So if you're looking for the pattern,
Garden Party by
do
her.
some
You're right.
searches for under Laura Heine,
Okay.
Heine.
All right. Well, and so from there, let's take another trip on our scrap quilt-along. And today we're going to sew those blocks together.
Now, last week you had Ann and I sort them into very wonderful piles.
We did.
And we did such a good job, you got to go to the next step, didn't you?
I did. And so I'm going to show you, I'm going to walk you through the various steps that you use to put the block together. Now, when I sew the light and dark, the light and medium, and the medium and dark, you need 3 sets of each of those to make a block. And so that's exactly how I sew them. I sew these 3, and you're going to sew 1/4 of an inch away from that line that we drew diagonally, and then continue on and do the next set, and continue on and do the next set. So what you end up with is all 9 of them strung together. And when you get down one side, you're just going to turn it around and go back down the other side. And now all of your blocks are in the order you need them, and they're all sewn together so that you're now ready to do some trimming.
Well,
And
you're not going to lose them either.
That's right. But now I'm going to show you how I trim them, because you know how you always end up with those little dog ears?
Yes.
So I cut from one thread to the other thread, right across there, and cut that tip off.
That is so clever.
And then you come down here and you do, let's see if I can get my hands out of the way, you do the next one. And I will warn you, you see I'm wearing a Band-Aid today? If you get your fingers too close to the inside of that finger, you cut a little V in your finger.
Karen K. Buckley Perfect scissors are very
Oh
sharp.
yeah, they're very sharp, yes. So you would continue doing that all the way down. And then you're just going to cut on that drawn line. And so now you have 2 pieces that are identical. So as I sort those, I sort them out in 2 piles. You could go ahead if you wanted to and make 2 blocks that are identical. I usually sew one and take these and set them aside and then go back and mix them up after I have a few blocks so I can make them different. All right, so once you get that done, we're going to lay them out so that I've sorted them so that I've got, I'm ready to do some pressing. And Betsy, if you can just grab that iron. Here, we can just set that down maybe for a minute, and I'll show how I do this. I lay them so that they, just lay right on top. I sort them so that I lay them dark side up. And so, you know what? I know we work real hard sometimes when we press. This iron isn't hot, but I'm just going to show you what I do. I set the tip of the iron in this corner, and the tip of the iron in that corner. And now just take the iron and let it sit there and get the next one ready. Now you can pick this one up and set that corner, and just let the iron do the work. You know?
That's fantastic.
And so this goes very quickly if you press them that way.
That's a great idea. As long as you don't leave it too long.
Well,
The phone
and
rings
really,
and you,
oh yeah,
you know.
you have to pick it up if the phone rings, you have to pick it up. Okay, so when we get them all pressed, then we have them so that, again, I've kept them in the same order: light, dark, light, medium, and dark. And so now I made a set for each of you.
Oh, we get to play.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
I love this part.
So that you can do a little layout with me, because
I will lose my pen.
if you will look at our finished block, you can see that we have a very strong diagonal from corner to corner. So,
yes.
so that's the first one I lay in. So you can see how diagonally I laid my lights and darks out.
Darks. They're at the bottom of our stack.
All right, once you've done
Okay.
that, now all you have to do is take your lights and mediums and lay them in one corner.
Oh.
Lights and mediums, alrighty.
Okay. And now you lay your lights and darks in the bottom corner.
Oh, how cute.
And how easy was that?
That was so easy, Bonnie.
It was easy.
I'm gonna move that over just a little bit to get the finished effect.
Okay, so now
Wow.
you can see that we have
That's fun.
three blocks. They're all different. They're all just scrappy. And I will just encourage you, don't worry about what color you're picking up when you're sewing them together to begin with, or when you're putting them in here. Now, I will tell you that the only time that I ever pay attention to, remember last week when we looked at this particular fabric? And we didn't know what we were going to do with it? Well, I made it a light and dark. If I were going to use that, I would put it in the middle, because it's the lesser contrast, so that you've got a good light dark here and a good light dark in that corner. So
make your distinction.
So you still get that light half and dark half. So that's what I do with those troublemaker blocks.
Okay.
Okay.
There's always a troublemaker in there.
There is.
And always a workaround too.
All right,
That's
so
the best
now
part.
the next thing we have to do is to sew our piece together. Okay, I've got more than one sample here. So you have those all laid out.
And this is your next chaining trick, isn't it?
It is my next chaining trick. And so, let's see, let's do it so the audience can see. You can see that I laid row number 2 on top of row number 1. All right. And I left them chained together. I will tell you, I've done this enough times that it's real easy to turn around a half square. It's also real easy to turn around a whole row if you cut them apart.
Right.
All right, and so once I've sewed those row 2 onto row 1, I bring it back and I lay it out just like this. And this is the only place I use a pin, is when you're doing these 2 steps. I put a pin here so that, because once you pick this up, do you see what it does?
It does.
It
Right.
twists, doesn't it?
Right.
Yes.
And so once you do that,
By the way, Kimberly Imo is very impressed with how busy you have been to make all these wonderful samples for us.
Kimberly knows about preparation.
all right, and so now you can see I have this all strung together. There's no way that I'm going to be able to sew that together incorrectly. So I'm going to take, okay, so now I will tell you, you notice I have not said anything except at the initial pressing about pressing as we sew these together.
Correct.
I do press at this point.
Even with them chained together, you press
With them chained together, yes,
Wow.
because you want the center row, and I press this one. This one goes this way, this one goes this way, and this one goes this way.
wonderful.
So they nestle.
Yes, and the easy way to do that is to take this to the edge of your ironing board, and now your iron isn't in the way. You can press with the way you need to, and you take the next row and pull it up, and now I can press this direction, and you don't have to worry about repressing all these seams.
That's terrific.
All right, and so once you do that, then you're going to be able to Oh, this is just another one that's all sewn together.
You know, what I really like about this is if you have, because it's scrappy, you could make these blocks just over the course of a year, and you could just set them aside and they would stay stuck together in the right order. And then if you wanted to change your mind, you could. You could just set them apart and switch.
And so once you flip these over, your seam allowances are going to nest for you. And again, I don't use any pins. Really, the only pins I use is when I get that, put the row 2 and row 3 on.
Because the distance is short enough that you can hold it right up to where it nests.
You certainly
Right.
can, and so it's an easy pattern. It also, you know, because we're using different brands of fabric in these, you know, sometimes when you're sewing, you have to stretch a little, and you can do that if you don't have it all pinned down tight.
True.
You know? All right, so we want you to sew your blocks together, and next week we're going to show you a lot of fun things that you can do with this particular block.
I wanted to mention just a few moments ago on our feed here on Facebook, somebody mentioned about block of the months taking a long time to get to them. I just want you to know that this project and the project, the block of the month that we're going to be doing in On Point are with your own fabrics, with
Yes.
scraps. And you
There's
can
no
get them
kits for
online,
these.
you can do it right away.
That is correct.
Okay, so next week we'll play with some layouts for this particular block, because you're going to be amazed. You could make this block for the rest of your quilting career and make a different quilt every time.
How fun.
You're going to be busy.
I have to sew a few more blocks. I did cut some more squares though, so we're that far along. So, you know, registration is currently open for all 3 of our fall shows. Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is in August. September is our Fall Paducah show. And Virginia Beach is our October show. And it's open for everybody to register. Some of the classes are filling up, so you want to make sure you get in there and try to get your most favorite class.
Yes.
Lots of great teachers,
lot.
and some really fun special events and wonderful special exhibits.
Yes.
Yes.
They
Can't
are
wait to see them.
incredible exhibits coming up this fall.
I know, more than 600 quilts at all those shows, at each of those shows.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So we hope we'll see you at a show, and if not, we hope we'll see you right back here next Wednesday, and we'll finish up our Scrap Quilt-Along.